I'm going to be a new dad in a couple months, and it has terrified me. And if you've been following along with this channel, you know that I work out in Star Wars helmets and tap into the alter ego. And the reason why I'm making this video is one, to show the not always perfect side of social media, two, to kind of display the essence of this channel and why I really believe in it and why so many people have bought into this idea of tapping into the hero inside of you and making that choice. But I want to just go all the way back from the start, from when I created this channel originally. And it would have been about 2021. I was going through a really kind of depressive time where I was really nervous about getting married. Not because I wasn't excited about my wife, not because I wasn't excited about the prospect of being married. I obviously love her and it's been an amazing marriage so far. But I had this doubt of whether or not I was going to be a good husband. And I had this doubt of whether or not I could be a leader of the household. And it all stems back from different times in my past where I felt like I wasn't good enough. I needed to be perfect. And if things weren't perfect in my life, or if I wasn't perfect, then I was going to fall short and be a failure. And so I just got really stuck in this loop. And the message of this video is really your focus determines your reality.
Always remember, your focus determines your reality.
Qui-Gon Jinn saying that in The Phantom Menace has always been a quote from Star Wars that stuck with me because I find it so true. And so in that time, I was really focused on my shortcomings, my failures, the things that weren't perfect. And it really put me in a downward spiral because if I wasn't perfect or I was a failure, then she wouldn't want to be with me and then she would leave me. So anyway, I would look at my 501st helmet back here. I'd put it on and I'd say, all right, what would Captain Rex do? He's a leader. So he'd be the leader of his unit, be the leader of the 501st Legion. And it would kind of give me a different mindset to be like, hey, yeah, I'm a leader. And it helped me tap into that hero version inside of me. Carl Jung talks about your persona and talks about your shadow self. Your shadow self is the version of you that you want to hide. I kind of liken it to the dark side of you and kind of like the negative side of all humans, or the negative sides that we think exist. And then your persona is your personality, who you try and be, the different versions of your ego that you show off at work with your friends. We all kind of tap into little mini alter egos. And so putting on the helmet and putting on the helmets in the different workouts gave me ways to kind of help other people be like, all right, I don't feel like working out today, but what would Boba Fett do? Boba Fett would be relentless. He climbs out of the Sarlacc, he straps on, his shoes and goes and works out. And so I noticed that feeling and that theme of inadequacy, not feeling like I was good enough, needing to be perfect, showed up before I got married. And I say this all now because I'm about to be a dad. And it has terrified me. One, because I think a lot of new dads can relate. It's a whole new experience. And it's funny because half the people will say it's the best thing that'll ever happen to you. And half the people are saying, oh, get ready to be tired, get ready to be stressed, get ready to be put on the back burner. And for me, that gives me a lot of anxiety because I love creating content. I love being a small business owner. I love my clients. I love doing what I do every day. And I'm truly blessed to be able to help people change their lives by making Star Wars themed videos. Like, it's crazy when I tell people that and they think I'm joking, but like, that's what this channel is. And it's helped literally thousands of people all over the world. And so I'm afraid that with more time dedicated to my son that's on his way, it's going to pull me away from this. And I always feel like I'm not as far as I should be, or that there's more content I could make, or that there's more I could do. And so it's been putting me in this really negative spiral where it's like, oh man, if I feel behind in work now, well, imagine how far behind I'm going to feel when I don't have as much time to dedicate to it. And then my clients are going to be mad, or my wife's going to feel like I'm not present, or because the business is going to struggle, then the business is going to go under. And then I'm going to be a failure because that's, me. And I'm attaching my ego and all these things to different elements of who I am and what I'm wanting to do. And I was talking to my brother yesterday, and he literally used the Qui-Gon Jinn quote on me. He's like, dude, it sounds like you're just not focusing on all the amazing things that you're going to get as a father, all the amazing experiences, all of the opportunities, and just the blessing that it is. He was mentioning a family member who recently passed. And it's like, dude, we were mourning all of the amazing times with that person. You're actually welcoming life into the world. Think about how amazing that is. And I say all this because whether it's fitness or just life in general, it's really easy to be negative. As a Star Wars fan, you probably can not look far on the internet and find people being negative. And I really try with my content to not focus on that, because I really try and keep the theme of this channel at the forefront of your focus determines your reality. So if you're always focused on the negative of Disney, of the sequels, or for whatever you don't like, then you're just going to find more of that. And I'm actually going to share this little clip from a podcast that I was listening to from the University of Minnesota, where they talk about the reticular activating system. What the RAS does is really connect that subconscious part of the brain with the conscious part of our brain. For example, how this works, if you were to look around the room and look for the color blue, but what the RAS does is bring to light that what we're looking for. It helps you to start filtering out those pieces that can help you with that intention. And so the conscious mind brings that into your subconscious mind, and you start to see and hear and understand the things that will help you get what you're intending. And so what's cool about the reticular activating system is it's literally something inside of our brain that is a function of this concept of your focus determines your reality. And so if you find yourself saying, "Oh, I don't have time to work out," or "I don't have what it takes to be someone who's healthy and fit," or "I can't do X, Y, and Z," whatever you say you can do is ultimately going to be your destiny. There's another quote, I think, from Henry Ford, where he says, "Whether you think you can or you can't, you're right." And so I really want this message of something that I'm learning right now and being reminded of, that your focus determines your reality, that whatever you feel like you're getting a lot of in life is simply what you're focusing on, whether that's consciously or subconsciously. So if you want more health in your life, if you want more consistency in your life, if you want more fitness in your life, look for opportunities for that to happen. If you say, "I have no time to walk," well, then your mind's going to look for all the times when you're busy. If you say, "I have time to get some steps in," your mind's going to look for those 10-minute blocks, for those 30-minute blocks, and you're going to start to bring more of that into your life, because ultimately both exist at the same time. The light and the dark side exists at the same time. Not having enough time, having enough time exists at the same time. But ultimately, it's the power of choice. You have the choice to decide what it is that you're going to focus on. The same way as the hero is able to make the choice of who they're going to be. Are you going to be Luke Skywalker, the Jedi Knight who saves the galaxy? Or are you going to be Luke Skywalker, the moisture farmer who's afraid to take on the Empire? And I just love the entire theme of the hero's journey, because it literally is making a choice. It's the call to adventure, crossing the threshold and saying, "Here's who I'm going to be. Here's the choice that I'm going to make." And so this channel, this life lesson that I'm experiencing right now as I welcome a newborn son into the world, and just fitness in general, so much of it is your focus determining your reality. And so the message is just make a choice. What are you going to focus on? A couple things that I really like doing is journaling. What would make today great? What am I grateful for already that exists? And then at the end of the day, what would make today great? And you can just kind of go on this gratitude rampage. And it's not to say bad things don't exist. It's not to say that negativity doesn't exist. It's not this eternal optimist, almost like toxic positivity. It's existing that both the light and the dark side exist, or it's admitting that both the light and the dark side exists, and being aware of both sides, and then just choosing which one that you want to partake in. And I promise you'll be happier. Even in the last 36 hours, I've been so much lighter, so much more excited, and in just a much better mental state. And I'm aware of this now. When I was getting married, I didn't feel like I was going to be good enough. As I'm welcoming a new son in the world, I feel like I'm not going to be good enough. I'm going to be a failure as a dad. But now I'm just changing my mindset of, okay, what are the amazing opportunities that I'm going to have? What are the amazing gifts that I'm going to get? And it's shifting my focus. I'm going to be the best dad ever. And if you're going to be a new dad, or you are a dad, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. And so it's kind of like a mix of dads and nerdism and fitness. But at the end of the day, your focus determines your reality. Make a choice to focus on the things that the hero inside of you would focus on. This is CT3939 signing out. Catch you on the next Trooper Transmission.